It is lovely to see you. And it's definitely not an outside day, so I'm not going to muck around. I'm going to show you rocks because rocks are lovely. And today we have this quartz pyramid, which is just, I'm very fond of. Oh, and I found the rainbows. Heaven knows if I can actually show them to you because they're on the other side. But let's just start with this face. And you know, I like that it's not perfect. I like that it's got inclusions. Now, the rainbows are a bit pale and the light's from the side. I don't think it'll work. Hi Heather, hi Nesreen, they're in there, I promise. But I don't have I'd have to have an independent light source and yeah. Never mind, they're there, I promise you. And you know, it's just beautiful. I enjoy this. It comes from China. It's not Brazilian quartz, it's Chinese quartz. Good morning, Nora. Lovely to see you. And what else have we got here? We have a little piece of tourmaline. Linda. It's great to see you, Nesreen. It's lovely to see all of you here. Tourmaline, right? And you think, oh, well, that's all gnarly. It's got, you know, it's got this shiny face, which you can see all the gaps and holes in it. And there's the termination of the crystal, and then it's kind of broken, and then there's all these shiny bits on this. I mean, I love this. So it's really perfectly imperfect. I love how you all greet each other. It's beautiful to see you. And this one really is pretty perfect. This is quartz again. And it's a pretty perfect crystal, really. It's completely unpolished, but you can see how transparent it is. And all of its facets are really shiny, slightly matted. That's lovely. So here we are. And good morning, everybody. Facebook has not yet told me who you all are, but it's lovely to have you joining us. And look at that line through it. That's just the bottom of that face. I love how the light gets bent through a crystal, and you can see how transparent it is. So this is beautiful. So there you go. Our rocks for the day. Yeah. Okay, right. So today I had two ideas that I'm sort of mooshing together. Morning, Jenny. Lovely to see you. One of them is I'm sort of aware that, you know, we have this theme going where we're practicing heart coherence, or we're practicing brain coherence, practicing becoming heart focused, practicing opening your focus, right? It's all about your focus. Where you put your attention is where your energy is. And at the same time, I kind of want to keep talking about practical applications of, you know, what does this mean to me? And you know, so we've talked about anxiety, we've talked about whatever it was, criticism yesterday. By the way, it's all the same kind of state in your brain, which is why whatever it is, really the solution is the same. But today I want to focus or pay attention to or bring up or discuss the whole thing of anger and frustration, because for some people that is a really big deal. Hubert, it's beautiful to see you. I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong as a New Zealander with a Kiwi, you know, because you're in France, right? And I'm not going to attempt to correct myself because I'll just make it worse, but it's lovely to have you with us. So, anger and frustration is another one of those survival states. It's another one of those experiences where the brain is in high beta, because you don't get to be angry and frustrated unless your brain has gone into high beta. High beta, in case anybody wonders, Sophia, it's great to see you, is if you measure how many cycles per second the brain is doing, it's up around 50. Whereas right now, if you're in low beta, you're like 13 to 15 cycles a second, much slower. And moderate beta is like if you're paying attention. Oh, bless you, Hubert. Hubert, maybe, or I don't know, maybe I dropped the H, but it's lovely to have you with us. Jane, good morning. So anger and frustration, you've lost your rag, or there's that person that just irritates the snot out of you and they're always around. You can't get rid of them, and it's like this chronic state of negativity and still the brain is firing incoherently. And remember, we talked about that yesterday. If you're in high beta, you're in a state of survival. Oh, and of course, that's why I'm talking about it. I know, yeah, anger and anxiety have exploded quite literally. Rona, good morning. Charlotte, yay! So that's why we're talking about anger and frustration. Because, yeah, I know there's a huge kaboom going on. Yvonne, it's lovely to see you too. Woohoo! We're all together. And I feel I'm gonna take a risk and address that a little bit. It is very scary to be there. God, I mean, I don't have to say that, and I'm not going to focus on that. This is what, standing back, not being in the middle of it, right? So I have no right to say anything to you about how you should feel, and I'm not going to. Standing back and looking at it, what I feel is that this is all shit that's always been hiding in the cupboard. And now it's visible. Which of course is, oh my God, I'm shining a light in this really dark place. I really didn't want to see this. It's always been there. And we all know this. And it's painful to see it. But what it does when this stuff comes up is that it gives each of us individually, because you can't control anybody or anything else, it gives each of us individually the opportunity to say, okay, wow, this is whatever it is for me right now. How am I going to respond? What am I going to do? Am I going to go into terror? Am I going to go into fear? Am I going to go into huge reactivity and jump on the bandwagon and get angry? And, it's really, really tough. It is. This is like, this great festering boil is being lanced and all this nasty toxic stuff is coming out. So, and you see, I have very much not put my attention on it. I'm aware there's stuff going on, but I have not been paying attention to it. Where you put your energy, attention is where you put your energy, and where you put your energy is what grows. It's really interesting. You think, oh my God. So this grabs your attention, right? And literally, so that's all I really want to say, that I think this is polarity that's always been there. Now it's really in our faces, and we have to decide who we are right now. Are we going to join the general fear and anger and frustration, or are we going to hold a different energy and be the light that is required in this darkness? And it is required. And in case you think that it doesn't matter when you make yourself coherent in the middle of the crazy, there's a lot of science to show that if you can hold a coherent field in the middle of the crazy, the people and circumstances and things around you by default become more coherent. So maybe becoming heart-centered and making your brain coherent and calming your brain down out of the panic and the fear that's going on is the greatest service that you can give to humanity right now. Just to turn it on its head. Because it's like my hero Joe says, when everybody is in fear, you're in peace. Hi, Nikki Mariana. When everybody is in lack, this is the time to be in abundance. When everybody is doing hatred, this is the time to show love. And I don't mean to put yourself as a doormat and let somebody walk over you. We have to do what's right for us. But really what's right for me right now is not to get drawn into the polarity and the fear and the drama and the my greatest service to you, to anybody, is to be coherent and to hold peace and joy in me, because joy is what I'm really creating in myself now, because joy has been this thing that, I realised yesterday that I've been addicted to sorrow. Who knew? I didn't. I was deeply unconscious about it. So, I am firing and wiring and holding and becoming more joy. That could be useful, if you could spread joy over the planet, right? So becoming coherent and managing to disentangle ourselves from this very seductive and come join in and do what everybody else is doing and think and feel and behave like everyone else is behaving and thinking and feeling takes energy. It does. And there's a reason for that. So and again, I'm borrowing from what I've learned from Joe because this is such a perfect illustration of how this works. You have two hydrogen atoms, right? Most people know, and if you don't, you will in a minute, most people know that hydrogen gas is two hydrogen atoms linked together, H2, hydrogen gas. And what holds those two atoms together is a field of shared energy. It's not, you know, how the stick and ball diagrams that you see in the old school chemistry books, that's not how it works. They're sharing information, they're sharing frequency, they're sharing energy, and that binds them together. Now, that's how, you know, and if you take that from, an atom to a molecule to chemicals to cells to tissues and structures and things in your body, you think, oh my God, my whole body is held together by shared energy. And what's the consciousness in that shared energy? Oh shit, I create that. But that's not where I'm going. Although it is. If you have two people who have a painful experience that they have shared, that energy of pain or anger or resentment or, you know, and you can do this at a national level too, right? Or a global level, societal, consciousness, whatever you want to look at. If you like, at the moment, a whole lot of what's happening in the States is that people are sharing very consciously a deeply held and long persisting energy of rage and injustice and all that stuff that's going on, and it binds people together. Just like the two hydrogen atoms get bound together by their shared energy and become a molecule of hydrogen gas, that shared anger, pain, whatever it is, binds people together in that shared experience and in that shared energy. This is making sense. So, you know, the practical example for me, which I know I talked about a little while ago, but probably not as much as I can now because I'm more distant from it. Sorry, runny nose. I had shared pain with my mother. Deep shared pain with my mother. And it wasn't her fault. And it wasn't my fault. It's just what happened. And because of the work that I did, I don't know, a month ago, whenever it was, I broke. I managed to, and it took energy, right? It took determination, it took energy, but I broke the emotional bond that I had with that pain. I did it in meditation, I did it using Go Love 20, and I did it over and over and over and over and over again until I could actually let my mother into my heart. Giving love to anybody's never been a problem. Letting love in, different story, much more risk. So anyway, I did that. And the next time we spoke, she'd noticed, man. She'd noticed there'd been a really powerful quantum thing happen. She was different. We've had different conversations since there's something really powerful unfurling from that thing. So I made a very determined and conscious choice to unlock that and to break my emotional connection to that pain. Not to her, to break my emotional connection to that pain, to liberate that energy, that stuck energy of pain out of my body. And as a result, the whole relationship changed. More than that's changed too, by the way. My health has changed. My business has changed. My entire life is quite transformed. Because I knew that in shutting her out, you know, mother-child relationship, pretty sort of profound, I was shutting everything out. You can't lock one thing down without locking everything down. Pun, not intended. So, the shared rage, that rage is there because it's there, it's been there, and now it's actually being seen and it's having to be recognised. And, you know, you're in this very incoherent state as a nation for lots of reasons, which we're not going into. And, you know, it's really there. So what do you choose to do? Because it's like this shared energy, it's not new. It's just suddenly really exposed. And so the choice that we all have is how we respond, how we don't react, you know, to get conscious and think, okay, how am I going to hold myself? Because maybe I'm more powerful than I think, and maybe the greatest service that I can do is to make myself coherent. And that means recognizing when your brain starts to flicker around, think, oh God, is there going to be a riot in my neighborhood? Oh gee, is somebody going to come and hurt me? Oh goodness, what's going to happen next week to our nation? Oh, and the brain just spirals and spirals, and then you're in that same survival mode of thinking, where is that tiger going to leap out from behind the bush again? And I got to look, and I got to, and then all of the lightning storm that we talked about yesterday is going off in your brain, because all those neural networks are going, I got to look for this, I got to listen for that, I got to run away from this, I got to think about that. That's incoherence, that's high beta. So, now, having talked about all that, let's do the other thing. And let's do it with this focus, with this awareness that we are taking our attention off that big firestorm. Because when you take your attention off the firestorm, you stop empowering it. And the conscious, logical mind says, you're joking, it makes no difference at all. But I'm telling you, it does. Because I keep seeing it. So, again, tune in, become aware of yourself and the flittering thoughts and how your body feels and the uproar. And yeah, you can pay attention to the fact that, it's like you have all these thoughts and imaginations and extrapolations about what's going on outside the four walls where you are, or, whatever, wherever you are. You have this sense of your own body and space and how you're feeling and your emotions and your thoughts. And you also have this general sense of vicinity around you and what's going on in it. So notice that, if you like, that is the particle. That is the three-dimensional hologram. That is the thing that appears to be real, right? So you're allowing yourself to notice quote-unquote reality. I now know it's not. I really understand and feel and know in a way that I cannot communicate that this is not real. But it feels really real. And when it's really in your face and it's scary, it screams at you. So acknowledge it. Now, we're going to change the focus. Let your attention rest in your heart now. Bring your awareness to this one place in your heart. Krista, good morning. It's beautiful to see you. And you might find that you have to yank your awareness away from these things that you think, oh my God, I've been obsessing about for the last 10 minutes. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? You actually it takes energy. Anybody who's, knows about physics or even chemistry knows that if you want to break those two hydrogen atoms apart, it takes an enormous amount of energy to break that bond. So if you find it hard to bring your awareness away from all of that stuff, and even from the fear that's in your body and everything, and just put it in, a couple of inches inside you at the center of your chest, understand that's why it's hard. And remember, there's a firestorm going on in your brain too to equal what you've been paying attention to. So let your attention come into your heart and start to breathe in and out of your heart. Now this adds to the heart focus, right? This adds to the heart focus. And maybe we're going to do heart-centered emotions, because heaven knows, everything knows we need him, right? So breathe in and out of your heart. And as you wish, allow yourself, because some of you are getting good at this and some of you have been doing this for years, so but for those of you who have just been doing this for the last week or so with us, you'll remember that when we did heart breathing last week, I said, well, you can breathe in and out in all directions. Morning, Sarah, lovely to see you. So as you breathe in, imagine light, love, peace, ease, clarity, resolution, calm, everything that you desire, coming to you from some unknown reality that's completely outside of anything you know. And it's all around you. And it's also within you, because it's the unified field and it's beyond space and time, and it runs through all of matter, holding everything together. So, good. I can feel that. So breathe in the solution that you seek from the unified field, beyond matter. You're not going to find it anywhere that you know to look. And as you breathe out, just allow yourself to release your awareness out into the space around you. That's enough, okay? Breathe in what you desire. But it's like it's as if you're breathing it through the matter that you're aware of. Tristan, it's lovely to see you. Breathe in through the matter. Breathe in through the illusion. The illusion is a hologram. It's not solid. The unified field is actually the reality. It's what binds everything together, and it contains all infinite possibilities. Everything you want for yourself right now is there. So breathe it in from all around you. Remember to breathe it in from behind you, and breathe it in from below you and from above you. And of course from in front of you and from both sides of you. Breathe it in like there's a sphere of solutions and love and peace and everything you desire. And as you breathe in, it just comes to you ever so softly. It's not claustrophobic. It's not getting smaller, but it just kind of flows into you and lands in your heart very gently. And it's love, by the way. It's intelligent love. This is the unified field. Morning, Kaya. So you breathe that in and you breathe it out, and choose your own rhythm with your breathing, but just be aware that as you breathe out, you're letting your awareness expand out past the reality, past your body, past your sickness or your health or your wealth or the scary shit that's happening outside, your building or whatever. You're allowing your awareness to go straight past that and into nothing at all. Nothing at all, because I can't remember, I know I've heard Joe say this, but somebody worked this out. If you actually take all the actual real matter in the universe, I believe it would condense down to something about the size of a pea. Everything else is space. And this infinite mind and potential and the energy that binds these tiny pieces of matter into structure. So you can go past that. And I can feel you doing it, because I can feel, feels nice. I'm not doing it. I'm feeling you doing it. This is what you can do. And you're just doing heart breathing, but you're also opening your awareness into the space that is beyond your three-dimensional reality. And if you just allow yourself to be open to the fact that there are limitless, infinite, unlimited, can't be counted, can't be imagined possibilities and solutions in everything you ever wanted out there. But it's not out there, it's within you. Because your body is also a hologram, and you are part of that infinity and that consciousness. You start to connect to that, and I can feel it. It's like, oh yeah, there's shit going on the planet, but I'm bigger. And I'm not actually connected to it the way I thought I was, and I'm not actually beholden to it the way I thought it was. Oh, let me open my focus a bit further, because that is such a huge relief to stop paying attention to things I can't change, that might be scary, the possibilities that might land tomorrow, the shit that happened yesterday, whatever. Let me just be here now, because it's so much better. And you see, you can do this. I love this, and I love that I can share it with you. It is this simple. And you think this is just the scratch on the surface. There is a mountain of wonder waiting for you when you start to do this work. I gotta go. Very much love. Thank you for sharing with me. I will see those of you who are on and who wish to in about 3.5 hours when I give you an update from our dear Sangmarie Gomez, who's in the Gambia, also having challenging times, but overcoming himself and his body and time and the environment in just the same way as you did. Big love. See you then.